Aloha again, angels. Part 2 of present, past, future. We're going to use the secret language of darkness. This is my shadow deck. Apparently there's a bit of shadow work that's still going on in the ether. So let's have a look. These are my favourite cards for everybody else. Let's see. Straight away, we've got Heart Love in reverse, number 33. Giant cards and little hands. Swear they should make these smaller for little hand people. Hobbits. Apparently. Cycles and patterns. Grief. Kind of sideways, but we're going to put it up right. So I feel like a bit of grief is being worked through for sure. In the fourth house, we've got integration, integrity, resistance, conflict, anger, shadow song in reverse. Transcend in reverse. And the sway of influence. And self-awareness, bottom of the deck. Not even surprised. The wounded adult. Right, let me take a look at these ones. For the first card, Heart Love, which has come out in reverse, these cards don't actually have a reverse meaning, but if it comes out in reverse, I always try to flip it to see both sides. But I'm consulting the book on this one. First house is the self that you show to the world, your persona, what everybody sees. Heart Love, the unconditional center. Outdated ideas about love may be preventing you from seeing the beauty of love all around you. This may be with a lover, partner, child, or animal, or at home, work, or in business. Wherever you are or whoever you are with, you may be unable to see or feel that others are appreciative of you in a loving way. Heart love is unconditional. It is constant and present in all circumstances. As children, we may have learned that we had to be a certain way to be loved, to be something other than our true selves, to be worthy. This teaching may not have been conscious or done out of malice. The parents, caregivers, or teachers may have felt the same way, disconnected from heart love. Come back to your center and care about your feelings. Gently refocus on your heart to remember the truth, wisdom, and love of you. Heart love recognizes something greater in a world of duality and comparison. It sees the beauty in all that you are. I think this follows on really well from part 1 of this read, where I use the Akashic Tarot cards. In the Akashic Tarot cards, in the first house was the Ascent in reverse. And in one sense, I'm absolutely seeing that card as reaching the top of the mountain, chucking your anchor in. I'm seeing, what's that movie? What's that fucking movie? Dunkirk. I think, or it's like in the war, and there's one fucking man. Oh, I'm just seeing it more clearly now. There's one man, and he is like a believer of God, of Jesus, or he's very spiritual, religious, and he joins the army, or he's conscripted, whatever it is. But in there, he wants to go and fight for his country, but he doesn't believe in killing people. So in the army, they get into the war, and it's like there's this massive, I'm just going to call it a cliff, right? And the war is up on the top, on the shelf. They're all based down the bottom, and so this one guy that won't kill anyone spends the entire time, oh, I'm getting chills, scaling that fucking cliff finding the wounded and the injured and getting them back to camp, saving them. And he's a hero. People thought he was a fucking joke. Too soft to go to war. But he came home a hero. In that moment, he probably didn't see himself as a hero at all. He was just doing what he saw and knew to be right. He didn't believe in killing, but he made himself useful in other ways. And because of that, because of putting his value to purpose and action, I suppose, he was a hero. He was deemed a hero. But I bet you if you spoke to him, he wouldn't want that kind of recognition. Do you know what I mean? He's just doing what should be done, what is wrong, what is actually right. So what I'm saying, right, is a lot of grief, trauma, life has been worked through. See your value. Love is unconditional. It is unconditional love that gets us out there loving, doing fucking unconditionally loving things, right? But the first house is self. It is you. And even if it's the part of you that the world sees, right, it's still a part of you. Look in the mirror and love yourself. You're at the top of the mountain, but you ain't seeing the temple. Bright, shining. Okay? Heart love for you too, angels. Most importantly, first and foremost. Alright? You've been told. Cycles and patterns is number 2. And yeah, there's a lot of cycles and patterns, closing, starting, ending, repeating, coming to fruition. I'm not that good. I'm still learning astrological houses, okay? Some I'm very good with, some I don't even know. I'm getting there, I'm learning. But the second one, we got unconditional love for self, followed by cycles and patterns, karma, breaking a change, changing shit up, changing tracks, getting on a new path, changing the script, flipping the fucking whatevs you need to flip, okay? Unconditional love, new patterns, cycles, life, dreams, vision, future, blah, 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 blah. Number 3, we've got grief. What is number 3? I wish I could remember right now. Money. Money. She says. Yeah, it's got to do with your money or other people's money. Whatevs, it's money, right? There's grief around there. So personally, I've suffered from a poverty mindset. I grew up believing that money doesn't grow on trees, and something about not being able to pull things out of asses. Sorry, just quietening the commentary. Jackass or smartass, right? There, I said it. Moving into the 4th grief, all right? Letting go of this grief, because it's the grief that keeps us stuck. Grief, yes, it's an emotion, but for me, it's also a mindset. I mean, isn't everything? In the 4th house, maybe grief is based around the 4th house. We've got integration. So for me, integration means something has been built. Something has been assessed. Something has been destroyed. Something's being assessed, reevaluated, destroyed, and built anew. That's kind of the way I see integration. So the integration is, hello, now we've got this something new. Let's see what it's all about. Okay? So letting go of grief, loving oneself, because patterns and cycles are ending. Forgive oneself. Do not hold on to like harsh self-judgment. Sometimes we need winter as much as we need spring and as much as we need summer. And we also need autumn too. Okay? In the 5th house, we've got integrity. I don't know what the 5th house is about. No, we're not going to go there. I can't remember if it's creativity or like family. I'm just going to add that one back to the integration of grief around the 4th house to do with family roots, connections, and karmic patterns and ties. So maintaining integrity, truth. That's like what a part of me just wants to scream. Truth is so important. That's all that fuck it is. True, authentic integrity, for integration. Seems so simple. So simple. Not easy all the time, but very simple. In the 6th house, which I'm pretty sure is creativity, child, somewhere. Yeah. Resistance is resistance to creativity, to energy, to flow, to power, to expression, to voice. Which just ties back into all this bullshit that we are coming out of. The next card is conflict in the 7th house, which I do know is about relationships. Yeah, this all just ties in. Conflict in relationships. People lacking integrity, lacking truth, lacking honor, lacking fucking kindness. Dishonorable people do not deserve to be treated with honor, and I've got to keep repeating that to myself because I'm a fucking... In the past, I've been a bit of a doormat. I've been a fucking massive doormat. That is my own observation. God, I'd hate to know what other people think. Fiddles. Anyway, in the 8th house, what is that? Other people's money, inheritances. Is that the house of one's own money? Anger. So what should be and what should have been is not being. That's coming in under cycles and patterns as well. Cycles and patterns leading to anger? Something doesn't fucking sound right there to me. You know what I mean? No, no good. In the 9th house, we've got Shadow Song in reverse. Hear your soul song. So we've all got our own tune. We're all an instrument. We all have our own expression, our own unique voice, our own song, our own music to play. What is the sound of your soul? What song does your heart sing? Because at the moment, we are forgetting our own heart, our own self, and whilst worrying about integrity and integration and fucking conflict and bullshit of everybody else being angry about inheritances, no one's singing your song. Or resistance in the 6th house. I'm just going to do it this way and then flip the video. Like, there's resistance to one's own creativity, one's own unique expression, which is leading into, like, the height of your life, your song. It's time for you to get on fucking stage, and there's resistance to singing. We can't have that. Turtle dove. In the 10th house, we have transcend in reverse. 10th house, is it to do with career? I know it's like MC, height of your life. I think I dipped my finger in too many pies, do you know what I mean? I know a lot of languages, but I'm only so fluent to them all. Transcend in reverse, so come back down to earth at the same time as rise above, if that makes sense. Rise above the bullshit by coming back down to earth, getting grounded, getting centered, getting real. I really should have refreshed myself on the houses, but for y'all more intelligible astrologers and such out there, you know what I'm saying. I really should put a little warning on my readings that they're not really for beginners, which is funny. Because I do not consider myself a fucking veteran. However, my readings are quite complex. We're getting there, loves. Number 11, communication. No fucking surprises there. And the sway of influence. So someone's trying to bullshit their way into what you want to say, what you've got to say, with your expression being spread, with your spreading of your energy, of your unique vibe. Yeah, that bullshit can fuck off. Above, in the sway of influence, we've got integrity. So, where are you not being true, necessary, and kind to yourself? Because I kind of just see those 3 points as, like, it's just so well-rounded to me. If you can't get 2 out of 3, right? If it's not true, necessary, or kind. If you can't get 2 out of 3, it's not legit. It's got to be true and necessary, even if it's not kind. Or it's got to be kind and necessary. Okay, that's not quite what I meant. Don't be a dum-dum. Alright? We're not fucking stupid. You know what I mean. I'm not gonna... You know what I mean, loves? This is my own inability to communicate, isn't it? It's got nothing to do with your listening and interpretation skills. Right now, my not getting this message across properly has got to do with my voice, my communication. What does it need? Practice, maybe? Does that come with integrity? Yeah. Holding integrity means, to me, disciplism. I made up a new word called disciplism, because I can. Discipline, and enthusiasm. The reason I made that word up is because I struggle with both. Especially if it's not something I want to do. I can be quite enthusiastic and quite disciplined. It just depends on the subject, you know, and I think we all need to learn that sometimes we're just going to do shit that we don't necessarily want to do. I'm not that great at that, hence I'm getting evicted tomorrow. So that's an issue, because that holds that's integrity, right? And then that is holding oneself back, like, from moving forward. Creating anger due to those cycles and patterns that are not finished with, that are not healed yet, that are holding one's own love back from oneself. I hope that makes sense. I'm just going to skip forward because my mind's going everywhere. In the 12th house, we've got self-awareness. Incredibly important. If we don't have self-awareness, what do we have? Delusion, bullshit, la la land. And it's funny because the truth is stranger than fiction. And it may just appear like one is down the rabbit hole, when in fact, down the rabbit hole is where the truth is. Do you know what I mean? But if one's to go down the rabbit hole, one must remain conscious and in awareness at all times. One must be able to see through deceptions and illusions, through to the truth, when everything appears so chaotic. True self-awareness, in my opinion, doesn't lead to heart love in reverse. True self-awareness is maintaining integrity, is flow, not resistance. Integration, great, that's beautiful, but still needs self-awareness. Grief, we need to address and acknowledge our grief in order to move through it. Because underneath grief is shadow song in reverse. While grieving, while our heart is heavy, we can't sing. A bird with a broken wing ain't gonna be singing, you know, it's gonna be nursing her wound. Grief is hard because it's a broken heart, right? Or oftentimes it's a broken heart. But the only way to be free and to grow and to expand sometimes is just throw shit in the bin, to chop off a few branches or to prune some roses. And you should see my rose bushes. I have a hard time pruning my rose bushes. But I know that if I do, they're going to flourish much more lovelier. At the bottom of the deck, wounded adult, surrender, journey into darkness, guilt, separation, intimacy, shadow, hurt, pain, conflict, distrust, past relationships, as well as like role models or what's the word I'm looking for? People of influence in childhood that let you down. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I'll just go over it again, okay? The wounded healer, surrender, journey into darkness, go into the shadow, because that's where the fucking jewels are. And every shadow hides a gem. Guilt, stop feeling guilty for fucking loving yourself. Because that's what changes the world. If we love everybody else and not ourselves, who the fuck is going to love us? No one. Okay? Look after the goods. Separation, Intimacy shadow. Codependency is kind of what I'm hearing there. You can fucking do this on your own. You've done it, you're doing it, and you can do it. Wounded adult, okay? It's not the wounded child anymore because we've done a lot of fucking inner child healing and we're learning to cultivate that expression. But it's the wounded adult as well now where the shadow work. It's being focused, I suppose, because in order to let the child run free, the parent needs to be secure too. Okay? I think that rounds it up quite well. And we're going to leave this one here for part 3 coming up. I might just leave the shadow cards out and we will add on top.